Hello, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Claudia Gentry-Weeks and I'm a Certified Biosafety Professional. I'm going to talk to you today about COVID-19, how we can stop the spread. On the next slide, you'll see a video. You can see this person talking, all of the aerosols coming out of their mouth, germs, no face covering. Here the person is coughing, probably sneezing. You can see it's a big plume coming out here. And then with a double bandana, wow, makes a huge difference. Just breathing, there's something that does, there's things that you get out, but it's not even close to what it was. Same with a loose fitting covering here. You can see some coming up. Here, the person has it pulled down, the mask below their nose. May as well not wear one. And then here's one that fits pretty tightly. You can see very little is getting out also. So these demonstrate. Cover smart, do your part, and let's slow the spread. So I'd like to talk about how contagious is the coronavirus. Well, actually, it's fairly contagious. If there's one person that gets infected, they will infect at least 2 people. That's a conservative number. Some people have said it's as high as 7 people. So remember that it takes very few particles to cause infection, and it's been estimated that it only takes 40 actual virus particles, and they are super tiny. I'm going to talk a little bit about how the coronavirus is spread. And as you know, I'm sure pretty much you know a lot of this already, but just repeat it. A person is infected, they cough, sneeze, talk, breathe, and they are putting out droplets. And so these droplets are in the air, and they have little virus particles in them. And a person breathes them in. As you can see, this person breathing them in, and then they become infected. It goes into their lungs, and it sets up an infection. The other thing to think about, though, is that the virus, if it's in these particles and it drops down on the surface or on someone's clothes, well then you come in contact with that, or you touch those surfaces, and then you touch either your eyes or your nose or your mouth, then you can easily transmit the virus from those surfaces to yourself. So it's very important that you keep the surfaces clean, and if you've been around, that you're making sure that the doorknobs and things like that are cleaned off with disinfectant. The next thing to think about is how can you reduce infection? Well, we can use the 3 W's. Wear a mask. Everyone needs to wear a mask. Watch your distance. So that social distancing is super important. And then wash your hands. So you need to wash your hands you need to wash your hands frequently, and also to remember to wash them like at least 20 seconds at the minimum. The alcohol washes are good also. Also, we can avoid the 3 C's, and that is the closed spaces where there's not much ventilation, not a lot of airflow, and that's why outdoors is a little bit better. But at the same time, you don't want to be outdoors where a lot of people are around you. So the second C is crowded places. When a lot of people close by you in close contact settings. So even if you're outside, everyone still needs to wear a mask and stay kind of some distance from each other. So 6 feet, that's the recommended distance. So I've often heard people say, I'm fine. I don't need to wear a mask. I'm not coughing. I'm really well. I exercise all the time. I eat well, and I really don't need a mask. But it's important to remember that 45% of people that are infected with the coronavirus do not have symptoms. And so you could be infected and not know it. And sometimes people won't have symptoms, but they can also spread those. And in fact, more studies are showing that the people that are not showing symptoms can spread quite efficiently the virus. So wear the mask. This is a great film. It shows how easy it is to spread germs. A little gross factor warning though. It is a little gross, but I really like it. Oops.
What was going on was that I had a mechanical runny nose. I had a little tube running down the side of my nose, dripping a fluorescing fluid. The goal was to see how far my nasal secretions might travel if I had a cold and who might get those on them. To give you an idea about how much it spread on me alone, normally my skin would not fluoresce under black light. Are you ready?
Over the weekend, we saw signs of the challenges that may lie ahead. In the Republic of Korea, bars and clubs were shut as a confirmed case led to many contacts being traced. In Wuhan, China, the first cluster of cases since their lockdown was lifted was identified. Germany has also reported an increase in cases since an easing of restrictions. Fortunately, all three countries have systems in place to detect and respond to a resurgence in cases.
Okay, so this video is really great and memorable, and you can see that the people are really surprised about this, and it is surprising. We touch our faces so many times a day, I think around 200, and so it's really easy. You can see that person has pretty much everywhere, and it's a good sport about it. So it's very effective. So these are the sources of information and images that I used. I didn't think of all of this stuff or make these videos, so I need to acknowledge them. And I want to leave you with a few final thoughts, and that is protect your eyes. Make sure you're wearing some kind of glasses. I have these clear glasses or sunglasses. At least it will help block some of the virus particles that might, if someone's talking or breathing and not wearing a mask, it will help. So I have these little around. And the other thing is that masks that have 2 layers of tightly woven cotton, like quilting cotton, are considered to be pretty good about blocking the secretions. But you also want to make sure that you can breathe. So take your mask off if you're in your car. You really a lot of people will have masks that are so thick that they're not able to breathe very well. So you want to make sure that you can breathe. The other thing is when you take off your mask, you want to be really careful so that you're pulling the mask off and putting it away where you won't come in contact again. Wash your hands or use alcohol gel and then take off your glasses, because you don't want to touch a mask that's contaminated and then use those same fingers to take off and touch your skin, or you might, your hair or whatever. And so you want to make sure that you're, keeping all these precautions, and then wash your hands again. So it seems like a lot of hand washing, but I think especially if you're immunocompromised, or if you might be more susceptible to infection, then it's important that you take these precautions. And the last thing I want to say is that wear your mask, wear your glasses, wash your hands. We're all in this together, and we all need to work together. And wearing a mask is not a political thing. It's actually a health thing, and we need to take care of each other. And by wearing a mask, you're protecting others. So you're showing that you care about your neighbors, you care about your friends and your family if you're wearing a mask. So I think together we're going to get through this. We've got this, but we're going to really have to pay attention. So thanks a lot. The other thing I wanted to draw your attention to is that I really welcome people to contact me. Here's my email address here at the bottom of this slide. Or you can ask someone my contact information. I'm more than happy to go to businesses and talk to them about things that they could do, or maybe give advice about wearing the mask. And I see a lot of things all over Fort Collins, and people actually are really good about wearing masks here, but still I think we can do better. In fact, it's been shown that if 80% of people, these are like numerical number things that people have done, models, if 80% of people wore their mask all the time when they should, then we would see a huge decrease in the number of infections. So just remember that. Keep that mask on. I know it's kind of a pain, but we can do it. We've got this, like I said. Thank you very much.